We're having a conversation. Okay, start.
Yes, dear live.
Awesome. So, what are you able to see?
Hi-Fi website.
Yeah, sure. What about now?
Still Hi-Fi website. Yeah.
Awesome. So now we can see each other.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi, Keshav. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely fine. So, welcome to this Friday's Hi-Fi discussion. And what I want to talk to you today is how do you prove a trade secret? So, let me just quickly begin. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask me. Those of you who are going to be watching this later, you can post the questions of on any of our social platforms, and we'll get back to you. Now, when we talk about trade secrets, just
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
when we talk about, I can hear an echo, so one of you probably.
We are both on mute.
Okay, then why can I hear some background? Okay. So let's talk about how we can prove a trade secret. Now, when we talk about the term trade secret, now what we've got to remember is a trade secret is an important form of intellectual property or IP. And then as an example, we could talk about consumer lists, business strategies, research papers. Now, every business obviously has trade secrets. Whether you're a tiny startup or you're a global corporation, you're going to have trade secrets. But there is a very important difference between trade secrets and other forms of intellectual property. And let me explain to you what the difference is. A trade secret is only valuable as long as it is a secret. Right? You can make everybody in the world sign a non-disclosure agreement with you, and then you share your secret. But the question is, how do you prove that someone has misused your trade secret? Think about it. We all make people sign NDAs. Now, tomorrow, if you feel that somebody who has signed your NDA has gone and told people about your secret, how will you actually prove what was your secret? Now, when it is trademark, patent, or copyright, or even design, you have to disclose that to the world. You register it with the government, right? But in trade secret, there is no registration. So, logically speaking, there is hardly any way in the world that anybody can prove that their trade secret has been misused. Now, that is where we are stepping in. And what we're talking about is the Hi-Fi Grade blockchain, which is a global repository for e-signatures and timestamps. Now, that's a blockchain for storing date and timestamp digital fingerprints of any data, proving the existence at a specific point in time. So all that you have to do is, whatever your secrets are, they are in some document. They could be in a Word document, PDF, they could be a software source code, Excel file, anything. All you need to do is push the hash onto the Great blockchain. And now when you know a hash is just a 64 character fingerprint, by looking at the hash, nobody in the world can ever figure out what your original document was. Now, once you push that hash onto the blockchain, it is stored with a date and time. Tomorrow, if somebody misuses your trade secret, you can go to the court and prove that at a particular time in the past, that particular information or data was yours. And you pushed it on the blockchain. This is the hash. In front of the court, the hash can be matched. And the court now has proof for the first time ever that yes, on so and so date, that data was yours. And if anybody else got the data later, obviously, then probably they got it from you. Is that clear? And this data, this proof of existence can be of anything. It can be an idea. It can be music. It can be source code. It can be a digital asset. Any kind of original creation can be proven using the Hi-Fi Grade blockchain. Yes, I think you asked a question, but you're on mute.
I said a movie script.
Of course, a movie script, most definitely. So when we look around the world today and we realize that, more and more people are getting the same kind of ideas all the time. It becomes very difficult to prove that a particular idea was actually yours before it came to someone else's head. And this is probably the only way in the world that it can be proven. Now, I'll be very honest with you. This idea was not conceptualized by us. In fact, I got this idea from WIPO, which is the World Intellectual Property Organization. And they came out with this service last year called WIPO Proof, wherein you could push a hash onto their database. But there were two problems. One is, of course, I think it was pretty expensive. It's about 16 to 20 francs per hash. And secondly, it was not going on the blockchain, it was on a private database, which naturally means there are restrictions. When we put it onto the blockchain, as long as there is even one node running, the data is going to be there for the whole world to watch, right? So in our case, what happens is if anybody in the world wants to start a node on Hi-Fi Grade, the cost that you are going to incur is probably $5 or $6 a month. That's it. It's extremely cheap. So you can run multiple number of nodes, and as long as even one node in the world runs, your data is available for verification in a court of law if someone misuses your trade secret, right? So that's the basic vision with which we have launched this blockchain. And now we invite all organizations, companies, startups, enterprises around the world to participate in this. So the cost of this is virtually zero. Like I said, the cost of running a node is just a few dollars a month. And depending upon how many volumes you are going to use, you would decide how many nodes you want to set up. It is very easy to integrate Hi-Fi Grade along with any of the applications that you're already running. So if your organization has a running chat service, or it has an intranet service running, or any kind of such internal software, it's very easy to integrate the APIs. So from within those softwares, your employees can just push the hash. And hashes are always calculated offline. So you don't even have to send your document to our external web service to calculate the hash. We can give you the JavaScript files locally at the computer level itself. You can generate the hash, which can then be pushed. So the blockchain only gets the hash, never the original document. So Shino Arora is here. Shino, if you can just wave out. Yep. So she's available in case you need to discuss about how to integrate this. We'll also run a technical bootcamp on this next week. We'll share the dates with you, where we'll walk you through how exactly you can do the entire integration, right from setting up the node to integrating the API into your own services. And then you can, of course, take Hi-Fi Grade to be live. Any questions that anyone has at this stage? You're on mute, Shane.
I don't see any questions posted on YouTube.
Yeah, that's fine. Keshav, do you have any questions? Vishal, any questions from your side?
No.
Okay. Even if the questions are not related to trade secrets, that's fine. I mean, you can ask me any kind of questions. Okay. As you may also remember, we've announced the first cohort for our hybrid NFTs, and we're getting really good response. And we are going to be selecting some top use cases, which we will then be taking to the regulatory sandboxes in multiple countries, so that these hybrid NFTs can get listed very soon. And like I always keep saying, that if an NFT is not backed by intellectual property or some kind of valuable asset, it is not going to hold anything. And classic example would be the first tweet NFT. So Jack Dorsey's first tweet was converted to an NFT, and somebody bought it for like $40+ million. Okay, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was huge.
He
Right?
listed it for $40+ million.
And now he tried to sell it for $48 million, and I think he got 6 or 7
Bids.
offers. The lowest was $6, the highest was about 270 odd dollars.
Behind.
Yeah, so actually he started with around 2.7 million when he bought it. So from $3 million approx, the value has fallen to like a few $100.
$300.
That's because that tweet doesn't entitle you to anything, right? Or, I mean, it doesn't have any meaning. When you say that I have the NFT of a tweet, what does it mean? It actually means nothing. And as expected, all NFTs which don't have any meaning or real life asset behind them are probably all going to fail. So I believe the world is now ready to move on to asset-backed NFTs, which actually entitle you to something in the real world, and that's the direction that we are also working in. However, many of these NFTs may be considered securities, or then we also need to understand, would they come under the taxation laws as virtual digital assets, which would make it very complicated. You have huge amounts of taxes coming in. So to clarify these two issues, we are approaching the regulatory sandbox. And I invite you guys, if you are a musician, a filmmaker, an artist, an author, or any kind of content creator, apply for our first cohort so that we can take your case, your use case, to the regulatory sandboxes. Anything else? Anyone? Any questions? Would you like to discuss anything? Anything, Shriram, Keshav, Vishal?
No, it's clear.
Okay, awesome. So I think, yeah, Vishal, anything from your side?
No, sir.
Okay, awesome. So let's take a break here. And I hope you guys attended today's session, which was Learn Blockchain in 60 minutes. If you didn't, it's available on my YouTube. And now
Yes.
every week we will be doing one session supported by Hi-Fi Blockchain, where we are trying to educate the general population about blockchain, about Web3, about various other technological aspects which we feel are very important. And as Hi-Fi Blockchain, we feel it is also our responsibility to make sure people learn from the right sources, so that there is not too much of unnecessary hype created, but it is actual technical and other knowledge which is available to everyone. So I hope to see you guys in our weekly sessions also. Bye bye.